But what else we got? RNG. What do they feel the need to ban? Alright, they're just going to get rid of the Timber. They don't really... I don't think they want to pick Dragon Knight, but they're going to be the ones to take the Night Stalker. Alright. They're going to say, hey, that's pretty cool, guys. Oh, Sven's another popular hero that didn't get picked so far. And Grimstroke and Lich are both still in the pool. Man, we'll see how good this Disruptor looks, but... I'm not so sure. What's the Night Stalker for?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Like, what is it for this game? Is he just gonna run at the Dazzle? Maybe. Maybe. Is that the plan? RNG dipping into their reserve time a little bit now. So I guess, is Dazzle, Razor, Sven the aggro tri-lane? Are they going to try and shut down the Lifestealer that way? And RNG running a side lane Night Stalker, presumably. Man, you would never see this draft a few patches ago. Night Stalker and Keeper of the Light on the same team. Who would have thunk it? But there you go. Keeper of the Light doesn't buy Aghanim Scepter anymore. He buys Refresher Orbs, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
10 seconds remaining.
Gives them even more AoE team fight. They've now got the Will-O-Wisp, the Static Storm Kinetic Field, the Night Stalker AoE Silence. Not a whole lot of AoE damage, though. It's a lot of AoE control, not a whole lot of AoE damage. I think they do need to have a real damage dealer for their mid lane now. But they've got the last overall pick of the draft, so they can kind of get whatever they want. So Room310, how are they going to fire back? The Keeper of the Light also nice for this potential tri-lane versus tri-lane. The problem that I have with this Night Stalker pick is Room310. Okay, never mind. They're running Sven core or Dazzle core. My problem with this Night Stalker pick is that Room310 could have quite easily picked a hero that counters or wins the lane 1v1 against the Night Stalker. Like this pick feels super vulnerable. Room310 could even now maybe do like Dazzle, Sven, Shaman as their tri-lane, and then just put the Razor 1v1 against the Night Stalker, and then what do RNG do? They did get away with this kind of support duo in the previous game where they didn't have a whole lot of lockdown from their support, so I think they can probably do it again, but not necessarily a huge fan of this. Okay, so for RNG, what do you need to ban? The Shadow Shaman pick for Room310 is nice. They needed a little bit more reliable push, but OD just going to be banned out. Okay. What are Room310 picking for mid? Are they going to go for Dragon Knight again? What is D-Stone's going to be playing? He needs to pick something that can't get too heavily counterpicked. 10
seconds remaining.
What seems good here?
Dire team pick.
Centaur. Okay, so I no longer know what exactly is going on with their lineup. They've got a bunch of different heroes that could be played support or core. I mean, technically Shadow Shaman could even be core if they want to do something totally crazy. I think it's just going to be the Shadow Shaman Centaur lane.
10 seconds remaining.
And then maybe it's Dazzle mid, and then
remaining.
Razor Sven is the other lane. I don't know. I thought they wanted to pressure the.
Choose your hero.
I really thought they wanted to pressure the Lifestealer, but there you go. We will see that Queen of Pain pick that I was talking about. So, but it is a mid Dazzle. D-Stone's on your Dazzle here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be very interesting. I don't actually know if Quap deals with this matchup all that well. Dazzle is a very strong mid laner, but this whole lineup is weird now. So what are they doing? Are they going aggro with Shaman, Sven, Razor, Centaur to 1v1 the Night Stalker, and then Dazzle versus Quap? I guess that makes sense. Is this aggro tri-lane going to do well at all against this Coddle pick? I don't actually know. And I feel like Royal are just going to chase after the Centaur with the Lifestealer. The Centaur, I mean, the Stampede is going to be good to make sure that the Razor can stay on top of his link target, and they can get away from the Lifestealer if they have to, but there is a lot of control coming in from the two supports, so they're going to have to jump on the supports and burst them. But this mid dazzle does enable some pretty degenerate stuff if it gets off to a good start, and you get your, you know, Guardian Greaves and your Necrobook. You can just kind of keep pushing forever, and if the other team can't kill the dazzle, they're not going to kill anybody else either, because there's always going to be a shallow grave up his sleeve. So we'll see if this is going to be the answer for Room310. It's a little bit cheesy, but cheesy can work. Let's see how it goes. Monet on Lifestealer, Flyby on Nightstalker, Mad on Disruptor, Afu on Keeper of the Light, and Setsu on the Queen of Pain versus Melodius on the Centaur, the captain of the team, I don't know what his name is, on Shadow Shaman, Detachment on Sven, D-Stones on Dazzle, and Wolfgang on the Razor. Somebody wants to tweet at me what the, like, a rough translation for this guy's name. I will gladly call him something else, but unfortunately, it's just not really a team that there's that much information out there about. Surprise. Anyway, RNG, early smoke just to get this observer ward down. All right, everybody's spamming ceremonial drums. Good stuff. Looks like it is just going to be your 2-2 bounty rune split once again. And okay, no, the aggro tri-lane is with the Centaur, not with the Razor. Alright, yeah, this is Centaur Shaman is a pretty potent lane. But RNG seem like they might be dodging already. I love how Monet just queues up like his entire item build. He knows exactly what he wants to do.
The battle begins.
Oh. Give Monet a few punches as he tries to get to his lane. They see the Razor down here. So the Lifestealer is trying to avoid the Razor. And we'll just have to see if this Room310 tri-lane actually has what it takes to kill this Lifestealer repeatedly. They do have a ton of chain stun. Like, if they stun him once, I think he's just dead at that point. Oh, nice little skill up of the Rage for Monet, dodging out of the way of that Stormhammer, but that does mean no open wounds or feast at level 1. Centaur already grabbing the Retaliate, ready to build up that little bit of extra damage. Not so fast. Wow, for a nice little 2-man blast coming out at bottom. As Flyby, alright, trying with the boots first to escape the Razor, but still manages to drain him pretty well. How's mid lane going? Setsu is already quite low. Yeah, it seems like RNG thought that Razor was going to go mid, but he is certainly not. Afu is taking the creep wave on a merry chase, but he can't TP out because there is a stun from this Sven. Dazzle might just run over and kill him. I don't know. Is that the plan? What's going on here? Maybe try and pull it into these creeps. Nope. Just blocking it a little bit. Oop. Yellow. Alright. I guess this is it. Let's go look at top. Mad trying to interrupt this pull through, but ooh, it's going to cost him quite a lot of health here. And Afu's still just leading all these creeps. He's the Pied Piper. Leading them to their death at the hands of this Night Stalker, presumably. Oh, not a whole lot really happening in this early game. Farm looking okay for Room310 so far. This Queen of Pain not really doing too hot against the Dazzle, who continues to just mess around things with the heal, making CSing just that little bit more difficult. Sven still trying to pressure, but looks like RNG should still be able to get most of this farm. That's a triple creep wave under this tower. Sven feeling very confident just sit under here. Setsu now starting to catch back up a little bit. But he should never really be able to whittle the Dazzle down too much. He has picked up 2 points in the Shadow Strike early on. Not going to be going for the Scream of Pain. Doesn't want to get anywhere close to the wave in case he gets heal bombed. And how much actual CS did they get out of this? Flyby still only has 5 creeps to his name. And these creeps are actually kind of hurting this tower a bit. Oh, blast coming in. Alright, Wolfgang, you're a little bit low. You've got boots, but not a whole lot more regen. Setsu just needs to stay away. Can't afford to have that poison touch getting refreshed. All 3 lanes going really well for Room310 so far. I do think that they get outscaled in the late game. Dazzle kind of falls off, Centaur's just Centaur, and Razor is not a hard carry. So, if they get into a decent position, I think RNG are fine, but it's just going to be a question of whether or not Room310 can push this fast enough. They do have the Dazzle heals to keep the wave alive against the D-push from the Keeper of the Light, so the Illuminate shouldn't be too much of a problem. But we'll just have to see. And they've got reliable push from the Shadow Shaman. Like, it doesn't really matter if the Creep Wave gets completely killed. They can always just use the Mass Serpent Wards. Keep the push going. D-Stone's trying to save up for a bottle. Centaur with a lot of farm. This is the first time that we've seen the Lifestealer kind of get pressured a bit in lane, though I think he's still gonna pick up a reasonably timely Midas and still just go for the exact same build. Unfortunately, the Disruptor is just such a bad laning hero that Mad can't really help out too much, and Shaman and Centaur have so much damage between them. Ooh, Wolfgang is low. Illuminate attempted. Is it going to cancel this salve? Wolfgang trying to dodge it. He does just barely manage to get out of the way. Okay, so he's going to get the full salve duration. That's nice. And mid lane's still a bit of an advantage for D-Stone. Starting to struggle somewhat for mana. Looks like Setsu may have... Oh, he got a regen. Oof. That hurts. 3 points in the Shadow Strike now. Still no point in the grave. I'm missing First Blood completely. It's happening down at bottom as Flyby gets finished off. Quick stun from the Sven, and Wolfgang chasing forward with 112 stolen damage. That's going to secure them 2 bounty runes at bottom and 1 bounty rune at top. Room310 still off to a hot start. Setsu did send D-Stone's packing. He's ticking down a little bit to the Shadow Strike, but does not look like it's going to be enough to kill him off. Setsu probably going to go and... Oh, he wants to go and hit the shrine, but Shadow Shaman is just waiting for him. Oh, Setsu. Alright, blink all the way up onto the high ground. Looks like he should be okay. This poison touch is doing a lot of damage. Rasta's still looking for him. He actually TP's over to mid. If he dies now, it's going to hurt. Looks like he'll be okay. He's got an Observer Ward of his own, but that looks like that may have been spotted, so might not be long for this world. And Rasta just camping out the 6-minute rune. It is going to spawn top, though, and that is a double damage, but D-Stones knows about it, and he's just going to head straight on over to grab it. Monet now starting to pick up the pace on the farm. The Centaur is going for some phase boots first, and then looking like maybe Hood or a Vanguard shortly after that, or even just a casual Ring of Health for a little bit of sustain. So they're going to be waiting for Centaur's blink to really get things off the ground. Is Night Stalker having a better game this game than he was in the previous? I think he might be off to a slightly better start. He's running over towards mid, but doesn't have any points in the silence, though Dazzle doesn't have Grave just yet. Flop. Used the Scream on the Creep Wave, is not interested in diving in for this one, and with good reason, all of the Radiant supports are arriving. And D-Stones also has a double damage, so a little bit dangerous. Flyby, after forcing the rotations towards mid, is just going to go check out top lane, though. And maybe they can find this kill on Melodius now. Mad has the 1 point up in the glimpse. The 2-man stomp comes in, though. That's trouble for Lifesteal. He gets hexed into another follow-up stun. Like I said, once that first stun comes, he's got nothing that he can do. Rage was still on cooldown. And that's a nice turnaround for Room310. Just following after the Night Stalker as he made his rotation up to top, and it doesn't turn out to be a very great gank for Flyby. Razor is just going for some treads at the moment, and then a drum. More harassment getting traded both ways over at mid. It looked like he wanted to come in and get a ward out, but
Dire's bottom tower
both mid
is under
laners getting
attack.
a lot of help so far. 8-minute rune going to be a pretty big deal. Both of them have an empty bottle, so wherever it spawns, that's going to give the other person a reasonably big advantage for the next minute or so. And then probably see the supports do their best to secure that rune. Oh. Wolfgang. There is no shrine here. He's been slowed down. Flyby thinking about trying to find this kill. One more hit. Oh, the war cry comes in. Just TPing out in time. The rune does end up being a regen for D-stones. So, poor old Setsu getting
Radiant's bottom tower is
short end
under
of the
attack.
stick on this. And Monet's still getting pressured a lot. I mean, they hex, but he's only got one retaliate stack, so I don't think they have enough damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Alright,
attack.
quick infest just to heal up.
Radiant structures
More heroes
are
rotating
fortified.
top. D-stone's making his move now. They want this tier 1 tower. Should be able to get it. I'd imagine that RNG are going to go push out bottom. They don't have the Keeper of the Light in position to defend this up top. Flyby has another minute worth of nighttime, but probably just wants his level 6. They're going to send Wolfgang down here to try and defend their own tier 1. So Room310 getting a little bit greedy, trying to go for both the push and defending their bottom tower, though I don't know if they're going to let them do that. Wolfgang, alright, now the TP's coming through. Afu, are they going to stun up on him? Detachment can't quite decide who he wants to go for, and
Dire's top tower
just
is
drives
under
them away. But looks like they are successful in this bid to both save bottom and get that top tower. Monet just going to go and find an open lane at mid, grab a little bit of farm there. And Royal with 4 heroes down here, really looking for these kills. They want this first Sonic Wave usage to be a good one, but is the Will-O-Wisp going to be enough? Now they're caught inside of the kinetic field. Wolfgang and the Shadow Shaman both kind of low, but still fairly healthy. And where's the rest of this damage going to come from? They do manage to burst down the Razor. Setsu with a few more auto attacks. Looking towards the Shaman. Detachment has another stun. Throws it out. Shaman won't quite be able to finish that kill. And Setsu still feeling confident with his stick charges. Jumps forward for one
Radiant's
last
bottom tower
dagger.
is under attack.
But in the end, the trade will be a 2-for-1. And maybe... not RNG not quite securing this tower. Fortunately, there's 2 bounty runes here for Setsu to heal back up. So he's going to be okay. D-Stone's just working his way towards
Radiant's
his
bottom
arcane
tower
boots.
is under attack.
And Monet is still plugging away towards that Midas. But we've seen like a 5.5 minute Midas in this qualifier. So this is definitely a slow one from Monet. And what's Centaur got? Yeah, still just has the
Dire's
Ring of
middle
Health.
tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Still taking Royal a little. I'm still not convinced at all by this Night Stalker hero, but I guess we'll see in the next few minutes. What item is Setsu going for?
Radiant's bottom tower has
What
fallen.
the hell was that smoke, guys?
Dire's middle
I don't know,
tower is
maybe
under
intentional,
attack.
maybe they're trying to
Dire's
scare
middle
off
tower has
Room310, but they're gonna get that tier 1 tower no matter what. Centaur appears to be going for what? Nope. Static Storm Kinetic Field dropped by Mad, but where's the follow-up? They do manage to get the Shadow Shaman kill. Disruptor's still alive for now. They jump into the backlines, bring down the Centaur. 2-for-1 once again. Disruptor putting his life on the line. As Flyby is going to start chasing after D-Stones. They do have an active Shrine ready to go. The Illuminate almost enough to kill him off, but they can't quite do it. He's got the sustain now. Flyby just going to try and zoom on over the trees and escape.
Radiant's bottom
Setsu
tower
has his
is
blink
under
off
attack.
cooldown, so he's going to be alright. And all of this is space for Monet to farm. Alright, I did not think that Mad was making a good play there, but turned out to be a fantastic one for him. They get 2 nice kills, they put a lot of pressure on the Dazzle, and open up a bunch of farming space for their Lifestealer. Razor is also finding quite a bit of farm, and Wolfgang is deciding that the right idea of this game is to just do the same thing as the Lifestealer and buy a Midas of his own. Alright. Midas into BKB. They can't even think about winning this late game. There's absolutely no way. Like, the only thing that you do this game as Room310 is you cheese them with the Dazzle push. That's all you got, pretty much. You get some good levels, and then you just start 5-manning with the Dazzle. I suppose the Midas is going to help for that a little bit. Wolfgang maybe just wants the levels and wants his talents, but you're not going to win the war of attrition. Keeper of Light already has a Force Staff. Going to come up here and try his best to defend this tower for a little bit. Nobody else seems interested. Monet's got jungle creeps to hit, and Tier 1 tower is getting pressured somewhat by Flyby and Setsu. So I think this is going to be kind of a free tower. And Melodius does just go back for the hood. Okay, so just a casual buckler for a little bit more push, I suppose. Midas getting delivered. Wait, that's a Radiance recipe. Monet, hello?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Excuse me? That is not the play. That is the wrong golden recipe, everybody. This is potentially the disadvantage of putting too many things on your quick buy. I don't know what is going on with that, but alright. Hex over onto the Disruptor. This time around, Mad will just be a free kill. Double damager and spawning up. Flyby popping the Dark Ascension just to escape. That's not a good look. Alright, he's just going to use it to cut a creep wave. Still getting run at by the Sven. No, no. RNG. Razor's now going to have the Midas for a couple of minutes before Monet has his. I don't even think he was like getting pressured and was forced to buy anything. I think he just totally messed up. I was wondering because I saw the Midas recipe still in his quick buy, and I was like, oh, what's up with that? But yes, that's what's up with that. Alright, Flyby is just going for a vessel. D-Stones has his mech now. 15-minute runes coming up. Both of these heroes reveal themselves now. Trouble for Setsu. He's on int treads. They are going to pop down the Will-O-Wisp just to try and save this. D-Stones. Does he have the grave? Yes, he does. It comes in at the final moment. Setsu needs to be careful now. Gets force staffed a little bit further away. They still won't be able to save the Rasta. Setsu knows that D-Stones is in the area, but he's got backup coming over, and now the mech getting delivered, so he's quite tanky. Flyby just gonna have to run for it. Ultimate's getting thrown in both directions. Detachment puts down the ward to spot the Night Stalker, but I think he might be a little bit too fast. Yeah, they do have the poison touch, but RNG gonna just slink away into the night, and Monet's still he's almost got the Midas, so there you go. The Illuminate is not completely clearing the creep wave, so that's where the mech and the pipe and the... Well, they don't have the pipe just yet, but the mech and the shadow waves are going to help out. And this is what the Room310 lineup has going for it. This absurd 5-man push with just so much sustain. Centaur's also gone for a Vanguard. Okay. Oop, they're running over. Detachment in a bad spot. I don't know why he was in so deep. Afu sticking his neck out. Monet arrives on this fight, but what is he actually going to do? This is a lifestealer with a Radiance recipe. He's hardly doing anything. He gets linked up. Razor with his off cooldown Midas is just charging in. Setsu has a blink away. Okay, he's fine. Nobody died. Need some more Illuminates to get this pushed, to just get away from the base. Oh, Sven! Super low, but not quite dead yet. Flyby, they're poking, they're prodding, they're getting through D-Stone's mana, they come in with the silence, they're gonna try for the TP out. Do they have a glimpse or anything? Yes, they do! They cancel it onto D-Stone's. Shadow Shaman doing his best to turn this around, but Shackle's not gonna amount to anything, and Room310 do not disengage cleanly. RNG swarm all over them and claim a bunch of golden experience off of that. Monet's finally got the Midas, so there you go. Start farming towards this Sacred Relic. Needs another 3k. How's the BKB going for the raid? He's getting somewhere. He's got the maxed out unstable current. It's helping him farm. Still #1 on the net worth, though I think his impact in this game is still on a bit of a timer. Afu's not got a Glimmer Cape picked up. Dazzle just working on the Guardian Greaves. D-Stone's not really all that farmed, actually being overtaken by the Quap, who is just going for a Yule's into an Aghanim Scepter. Hasn't opted for any talents just yet, actually. Setsu not wanting the 10 strength or the 25 damage. It's a little bit surprising. See if he does the same thing at level 12. Yeah. Alright, just wants more points up in the abilities. Might be a little bit more split push coming in from the having that blink cooldown. It's very interesting though. Alright, another deployment of Mass Serpent Wards, another tower taken, but now the true challenge begins. Room310, can you take high ground? They are okay at taking Roshan, but not great. It's always going to be difficult to fight around the pit against the Disruptor and the Keeper of the Light, and the high ground is going to afford RNG a lot of really nice positioning options. Like, they can just, the Disruptor and the Coddle can just be super far back, and Room310 don't have any way to sort of jump in there and get them. They might be able to just pop all their defensive items and then stampede through the tower, but I think if they don't kill the Disruptor and the Keeper of the Light, they're going to be in big trouble. Dark Ascension is available, but I think Royal needs some more heroes to kill this beefy Centaur. They're going to try for him, though. Pops the Stampede, making his way over to the trees, but they've got the vision, so he shouldn't be able to TP out. There is a glimpse to cancel. He made it back to the fountain for a second, but now 4 heroes converging on him. He's still pretty tanky, but looks like no way out for him. Setsu's going to go jumping forward and look to finish off this kill. A few more auto attacks to do it. Flyby. Secures the kill, and now has his Spirit Vessel completed. Do we finally have the Radiance up, Monet? No, not yet. Still taking him a little while. Even pops the Rage for a bit more attack speed to get through these camps that bit faster. D-Stones is farming on the other side of the map. Does Razor have his BKB? Yes? Pretty much. Alright, well, they're not going to have the blink for a while, so Centaur just buys up a pipe. And I think this plus the Greaves is actually the best timing that Room310 had. Anything after that, and I think they're donezo, but we'll see. Dota Plus still likes them. Experience, they're down by about 4k, net worth still very close, but the difference between a Lifestealer having a Midas and a Radiance recipe and the Lifestealer actually having the Radiance is going to be huge in these upcoming fights, so I have to see what they can do. They do have the Mass Serpent Wards once again, though Rasta only level 9, so level 1 Serpent Wards. A couple of low-level heroes floating around in this game. Can they do it here? Dark Ascension on cooldown for 40 seconds. There's no glyph available for the Dire for 15 seconds. Afu trying to clear the wave completely. They do get those Serpent Wards up onto the high ground, keeping the creep wave up with those Guardian Greaves. They've only got a 25-second cooldown, and they're making quick work of this tier 3 tower. Again, this has to be the push for Room310. They're looking towards the melee racks. Couple little bits of attacks coming out here and there. Monet arrives with this Radiance, but what can they actually do? Can they stop this push? Monet forced into the Rage. They're going to try and get the Razor away. They use the Glimpse to break that static link. But RNG have to find more than this. Flyby's going to try and corral them as they retreat, but they're all just playing around the Dazzle. And they actually go for something here. The Will-O-Wisp going to drag 2 of them in. They're going to look for the Static Storm Kinetic Field combination as well. They want to burst down the Dazzle first. D-Stones, can he get the Grave out? They haven't killed him off just yet. Now the Grave comes in. He's going to try for the TP home. He won't be able to get it. Flyby interrupts it. Detachment also about to be brought down. Monet getting drained once again, but kiting back towards his team. Flyby playing with the cliff, making it difficult to go onto him. Wolfgang just going to turn around. Can they get the Shadow Shaman out? They've got the Glimpse for him. RNG catching every single kill on the retreat. They did lose the lane of racks, but they're getting a lot in return. Next time around, they just need to take the fight outside of the base, and I think they'll be okay. Oh, this game is getting tense. Like, Room310 could maybe take 1 more racks the same way, but they didn't. I don't think they even made any item progress or anything out of that. Like, The Rax gold is nice, but they lost a bunch dying on the way out, and they handed over a bunch of gold to RNG. This Queen of Pain Aghanim Scepter might even be a huge deal. Getting that cooldown just to also help blow up the waves. I don't think they can push into Ags plus the Keeper of the Light. Not to mention the Chakra Magic on top of everything. Just gonna keep bringing that Sonic Wave cooldown. And they're just, yeah, they know they have to just keep going. Will-O-Wisp, 30 seconds. Sonic Wave, 50 seconds. They do have the Mass Serpent Wards. RNG, what can they do? They've also got the Dark Ascension on cooldown, actually. This is pretty dangerous. Yeah, they're just gonna go straight in, try and fight Wolfgang. Only gets 42 damage out of his static link. There's those Mass Serpent Wards up on the high ground. Setsu comes a little bit too far forward, but they've got a Glimmer Cape and a Force Staff to help keep him alive. The Blinding Light also doing some work, but it's not going to be enough. He's down. He does have a buyback available. Night Stalker now coming back over, but Lifestealer has been stunned up. He's got the Rage, Static Storm, Kinetic Field, controlling a couple, but D-Stones is outside of it, so he's got the Grave. He's got the Control. Will-O-Wisp finally getting dropped down. They've made their way through the Tier 3. Sonic Wave still 10 seconds to go on that. Sven trying to make his escape. They do get a glimpse back on the Sven. They're trying for the smoke, looking for the re-engage. What can they find? Monet a little bit low. Sven buying back into the game. Room310 taking this as their opportunity. But looks like they will call the retreat. Flyby with the Dark Ascension, keeping eyes on things. Glimpse is coming back off cooldown soon, and Disruptor's TPing over to the Shrine. Just going to look for a glimpse back. Who can they find? They isolate the Dazzle. Do they have the lockdown for him? They come in, or at least try to come in with the Silence, but the Shackle is there immediately from the Shadow Shaman. Room310 are playing really nicely as a team, staying grouped up. The big AoE ultimates are not really available, so they can't punish them for this. Monet's going to turn it around with the Rage, looking towards the Razor, but he can't actually fight him. Can he jump inside of the Queen of Pain? Won't be able to. Infest is still on cooldown. Maybe there's just too much sustain from Room310. D-Stones gets everybody back up to full HP. Still has a decent amount of mana. Blinding Light going to push people around a little bit. Monet focusing on the Melodius, but can't stay because of the static link. Radiant Courier is going to be brought down. D-Stone starting to run a little bit low on mana. Queen of Pain's behind. Looking for some kind of initiation. They're going to stampede forward. They want this kill onto the Lifestealer. There's too many defensive items, though. Into the middle of this, they're going on the Dazzle. He still sounds for a little bit longer. The Warcry hopes to keep him alive, but D-Stones is finally dead. And now the rest of the damage from the team can actually stick. They've lost the secondary lane of Rax. They're focusing on a flyby. Infest. Monet comes back out. Setsu looking for one more kill. They bring down the Sven. Wolfgang now being isolated. Going to look for the TP out. Do they have a way to interrupt this? No! The Razor escapes, but once again, it's the same trade for RNG. They lose the lane of Rax, but they pick up 4 kills on the way out. Is this going to get them anything? Still need another 500 gold to go for this Queen of Pain Aghanim Scepter, but there's a pretty big creep wave down here, and there are some bounty runes also waiting across the map. Still nothing in it really in terms of the net worth. Experience is up to 10k now. But the win probability as those racks continue to fall, slowly sliding in the direction of Room310. Roshan's back up as well. Actually, has Roshan even been taken once? No, Roshan's just up. No one's touched Rosh. Disregard. Razor's going for an Aghanim Scepter. They are just gonna... I think we might even get to the point where we just have Room310 throwing bodies at the racks. D-Stone's trying to grab a Force Staff so he can get away from this Night Stalker silence, but this Quap ulti is gonna be a big deal. 40-second cooldown, well, 35-second cooldown actually on the ultimate, so they can just Sonic Wave every single wave for the rest of this game. This may actually be the game deciding item for RNG. What's Lifestealer got? Almost at SNY? He's going for, wait, is it Manta? No, he's just going for the Lincolns. Okay, so picks up the ultimate orb, but decides he wants the Lincolns a little bit more. RNG smoked up. Heading out. They do not have vision of this high ground, but... Alright, they got Lifesteal Illusions heading out. Ooh, Centaur pops the Stampede. Yule's is going to control him. The rest of Room 310 are coming over to try and help, though. They need to be careful of the big AoE combinations. They put down the Will-O-Wisp. They put down their Mass Serpent Wards. They can't keep the Centaur alive, or can they? They've got the Grave. The Will-O-Wisp still doing its job. Blinding Light going to make that a little bit more difficult to bring down. Centaur still surviving. Static Storm not really doing anything. Monet's isolated. He does have another Rage. He wants to finish the Centaur, but he won't be able to do it. Wolfgang controlled by the kinetic field. They lose one on the backline. Setsu still playing a dangerous game. Flyby finds himself in the middle of everybody and will be brought down. Yet another kinetic field, breaking up this fight. Afu's got a Blinding Light soon. Monet trying to engage. I think he wanted a little bit of open wounds healing, but just gonna go for the Rage TP out. Setsu should be able to go cut some waves here. Top lane's pushing in. What's the plan? Blast the wave? No? Where's he going? All the way to bottom? Alright, so can Room 310 find a window of opportunity now that the Coddle ulti is on cooldown? Spam this Chakra Magic. Come on, man, please. What are you doing, Afu? Nope. Alright. They're heading out again. 30 seconds. 12 seconds. RNG want this fight outside of the base. They've got good vision. This is a nice high ground ward, and I don't think Room 310 have anything of the sort. This is a dangerous hill for them to be fighting on. Shrine only 20 seconds away from being off cooldown. There is a ward in the sentry now up on the high ground. Static Link immediately getting broken. Nice Blinding Light. Flyby off to the side. Waiting for his Dark Ascension. The kinetic field is controlling them. Mad waiting. He's got another kinetic field. Static Storm soon, but he gets found by this Fen. Can they keep this Disruptor alive? The Force Staff gets him a little bit further away. The Sonic Wave flies through and they kill off these stones. So much of the sustain removed from this fight now as they interrupt that shackle. Setsu's still fighting. Mad puts down the Static Storm kinetic field. Detachment trying to finish these kills, but he can't do it. The blind is too much. The kiting is too much. Sven gonna go for the TP out, but it gets interrupted. Shadow Shaman will be the next one to fall, and nothing that Wolfgang can do. Such a nicely executed fight from Royal. Bursting down D-Stones is always going to be the answer. They have to prevent him from getting out too much healing. And RNG starting to take control of this game little by little, but still down by 2 lanes of racks. Afu's almost got a refresher. Jesus. Alright, that's gonna be pretty scary.
Regeneration.
Alright.
Radiant structures are fortified.
What's Setsu going for? BKB. We got the Lincolns on the Lifestealer now. Shaman's just going for a Force Staff. I wonder if... Does D-Stones just need a BKB? Like, would that help? He could have had it by now if he hadn't bought this Force Staff. Oh, they're smoking up. Heading forward. Lifestealer inside of the Ancient Granite Golem. Can just run over towards the Razor a little bit. Where do they want to take this fight? Oh man, they've got the Refresher Orb now. Dark Ascension off cooldown soon. Yeah, they're just trying to fight around their vision. If they could fight at this shrine, that also would not be that bad. And I think they're going to go for the smoke. Do they have one? They do have 3 smokes. I mean, nothing really stopping them from just running over here and taking the fight with the double Will-O-Wisp, but looks like that's going to be the plan. Running over, flyby, Dark Ascension soon. Melodius gonna sit on the front lines. They get the stun up onto the Ancient Granite Golem. Dark Ascension popped. Can they disengage now? They're gonna get the glimpse back onto D-Stones. They want to focus him down first. He gets Force Staffed a little bit further away. There's ultimate number 1 from the Keeper of the Light. Ultimate number 2 also deployed. Wolfgang stuck in here with this BKB, but the rest of the team can't join him up on the high ground. They're focusing on Sven now. Wolfgang with no BKB, a little bit difficult for him to fight. He's going to try for the TP out. Looks like he might be successful, but that means no Sven here. Setsu jumping into the middle of everything. Sonic Wave deployed across 4. D-Stones trapped in the Static Storm kinetic field. Centaur not really doing anything. Wolfgang getting kited around by the daggers, tries for the TP out, but there's an immediate Yules to counteract that, and it looks like RNG at this point have just got every single team fight locked up. What can Room310 actually do? Oh, so close. But the kill score now 9-27, and they just can't seem to... They've just hit a wall. The Razor's BKB is dwindled all the way down to 5 seconds, so it's insanely difficult for him to fight. Royal have picked up a gem as well, so they can just control the entire map, keep vision off of their side. Lifestealer's getting bigger, with the Lincolns especially protecting him from that static link, and Queen of Pain, once she gets level 25, that's just going to be brutal. The 1.5 second fear on Quap is so powerful. Not to mention the synergy with the Chakra magic. Scream, Chakra, Scream. It's going to be crazy hard to deal with. But they have to keep trying. Have to hope that they can find the right kind of initiation. Maybe Shadow Shaman gets a good Hex and a Shackle out onto 2 different targets. They know that the Caudal Refresher Orb is still on cooldown for a little bit, so they've only got to deal with 1 ultimate on this high ground attempt. Just some damage onto Centaur. Alright, forces out the Lotus Orb. They are letting them get towards the high ground, though. Shaman does have the Mass Serpent Wards ready. Monet's just trying to break this smoke and scout it out. The Will-O-Wisp is there. It's caught out onto 4. Sonic Wave bursting D-Stones. Can they keep him alive? No! He 4-staffs, but it's to no avail. Shadow Shaman gonna get auto-attack down. Over inside of the base, Mad is getting chased down by the Centaur. Do they have any way to interrupt this? They've got a glimpse. Mad sticking around just to make sure that this Centaur falls. And they do finish him off with that Infest damage. Godlike streak for the Queen of Pain as they bring down the Sven, and what a weird game. It feels like it feels like RNG have already won, but they haven't taken a single tier 2 tower. But at this point, it just doesn't seem like they can lose a team fight. So
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Pinging the supports. The supports have done so much work for RNG this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now they're up 13k. How's that win rate looking? Win probability now favoring them 70-30. Oh my god, all the bounty runes except for one going to... I guess I thought this one was honestly Royals as well, but no, we did get one over on Room310. Poor cat team. And Royal now just making further and further incursions over onto the Radiant side of the map. What are they looking for? Oh.
Radiant's top tower
Wolfgang about to be spotted. Do they know that he's here? Flyby comes around the corner. He's got his BKB at the ready. 10-second duration. He can do whatever he wants in this upcoming fight. D-Stone's trying to hide back behind the tower. They force out the BKB with the glimpse and then just back themselves away. At this point, RNG just have to figure out how to not throw this game. Gonna head into the Roshan, take it nice and safe. I wonder what Room310 are telling themselves right now. Just like try and win a fight at the base. Maybe they can win a fight by using buybacks, and then they can come down mid and take this last lane of Rax. I just don't know if they can actually win a fight without using the Mass Serpent Wards, but they need the Mass Serpent Wards to kill the buildings afterwards. Dire also holding up a reasonable number of buybacks, though they do let this push get pretty close to the base. Though, Centaur, this is looking like a very desperate attempt. Got a few more hits. That's what they need. He also picked up his Blink Dagger before he died. Alright. Not losing too much gold. The Catapult also doing a little bit more chip damage to the tier 3. So 60 seconds to go on the Centaur Warrunner. Did that buy them any items? Shiva's on the Razor, but still quite a ways behind the Lifestealer at this point, even with Lifestealer's completely messed up build.
Regeneration. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh my god,
Radiant
Cuddle almost has a
structures are
Hex.
fortified.
Oh, not almost, but working on it. Do they have any Boots of Travel or anything? Is there some way that they can... Alright. Is there some way that they can close this out? Wolfgang is just in the base. Gotta do something about this dude. Alright, Setsu's here. BKB getting popped. They have any way to interrupt this BKB TP? They do not. Alright, more time bought by Room310. Dazzle is buying a Midas. What's this about, D-Stones? I mean, it's got a pretty low cooldown, sure, but it's still a minute. This is where you gotta get creative, you know? Once in a while you have a Dota game that you just have to throw everything that you think you know out of the window and try and do something crazy. If Room310 somehow win this at this point, it'll be like in the cloud 90th or the most eternal envious way possible.
Radiant's top tower.
Someone cue the anime music. RNG have all 3 lanes in a decent position. Flyby keeping an eye on things.
Radiant's
Pretty
top
much sees
tower
everyone
has
inside of the
fallen.
base, but they're just getting the build. Oh, Will-O-Wisp is there. D-Stone's force-staffed in the wrong direction. Can they keep him alive? Sonic Wave. Out it goes. Will-O-Wisp number 2, keeping him controlled. D-Stone's dead for 50 seconds. Sven's up next. Setsu's beyond godlike. They put down the Mass Serpent Wards, but it doesn't really do anything. Razor is beelining it towards bottom, but
Radiant's top tower
Quap is already
under
back in
attack.
position to defend. They're jumping in, just trying to keep them away, or keep them over on this side of the map. Wolfgang, what can he actually do here? He's man-fighting Setsu. Can he get out of here? BKB TP back to try and join his team. They've actually successfully defended the racks, but Monet TP'd back to defend and now has Boots of Travel to rejoin for the push. Setsu also picking up some Boots of Travel. They're going to get the Glimpse back onto the Shadow Shaman. Finish him off next. Setsu's going to clear out bottom and then rejoin the team for the 5v4 push.
Radiant's
Razor
top
also has
tower
Boots of
has
Travel. This is getting real weird. Oop. Steeler just runs it off.
fallen. Worthy tribute.
Midas something, D-Stones, please. Please, D-Stones. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Does Keeper of the Light have a Hex yet? Almost. I would imagine everybody on... Is everybody saving buyback actually on the Dire? Yes. They do not want to throw this game at this point. They're up 22k gold. Win probability is still giving them an 89% chance. Room310 want those mega creeps like nothing else. Oh, when he breaks the smoke, I spot the Sven. Takes a little bit to get through the Warcry, but Monet will not be deterred. They've got some good chain stun. Can they actually bring down this Lifestealer? I don't think so. Static Storm Kinetic Field drop. They're just going to focus on D-Stones once again. Poor guy cannot catch a break. Shadow Shaman struggling against the Will-O-Wisp. We do actually have the Razor over closer to the base. He does manage to TP out, but he didn't get the tier 3 buyback from the Disruptor. Centaur going for the TP out will just barely make it in time. Flyby has purchased up a Skull Basher just to try and deal with all these BKB TPs. And the Aegis does get reclaimed, so Setsu no longer having that one. This game is getting real weird. Centaur is just trying for a heart. Razor's trying for a refresher orb. Poor D-Stone still just wants this BKB, man. I think he could have just bought it earlier. I don't know if it would have won them the game necessarily, but it would have made his life a hell of a lot easier in some of these fights. Lifestealer now has an AC. I guess he subs out the Midas for Abyssal Blade, and then he's pretty much done. What have they found? It's the Centaur Warrunner over at top. Don't know if he's got any way out of this one. Just keeps throwing his life on the line. Takes a little while to get through him, but not too much of an issue for RNG. Razor, what are you doing? There's no creep wave. It really just feels like Room310 are doing whatever they feel like at this point. Oh, Disruptor. Okay. Trouble. Need some help. This is a dieback, actually, for Disruptor. Alright, no Disruptor for 90 seconds. They're creating some chaos. Sven gonna go for the TP out. They've got the Hex up on the Razor. He's feared. Sonic Wave coming in. Wolfgang still surviving with the Glimmer Cape and the BKB, though. Monet still chasing after him, and Setsu with the Blink finishes him off. Continue that Beyond Godlike streak. Another Beyond Godlike streak continued. Ooh. T-Stone's just barely managing to TP out there. Oh, mid lane range Rex takes a little bit of damage. That's some progress. Unhealable damage. But RNG always ready to defend with their Boots of Travel. Can probably see some Boots of Travel level 2 before too long. They still haven't taken a single lane of Rax. Worth pointing out. But 26k gold. Heading towards, what, is that 40,000 experience advantage? Or 30 something? Oh my god. 38k experience lead. Sven's still level 14.
Radiant's middle
Poor
tower
guy.
is under attack.
Alright. Lifestealer making pretty quick work of this tier 3 tower. They want the Razor to respawn naturally if he can. Stomp attempted, but plus 2 second rage duration. Monet's pretty difficult to deal with. Flyby does not have the Dark Ascension at the ready, and Centaur is somewhat difficult to kill. Queen of Pain still just chilling over on the other side of the map. Pushing out these lanes, giving them no opportunity whatsoever to do anything crazy. Well, this Midas for the Razor has turned out to kind of pay off. D-Stones, how's your Midas going? Almost there. Almost has the BKB. RNG just gonna go and take out the Shrine. Bounty Rune's coming up soon. Alright, let's push this lead even further. What can we get to? Can we get to 40k?
Has fallen.
Hex Keeper, Co-op going Octarine, Disruptor, well, you know, he's trying his best.
Regeneration.
Oh. Wolfgang, alright, relying on the BKB TP here, needs to be careful of the Hex. Yeah, it'll be okay. No Night Stalker over there, so no possibility for a bash. They did catch the Sven a little bit outside of the base, and no way he's getting out of this glimpse. Oh, actually, maybe he does. They glimpsed him a little bit too early. They didn't have another Void to cancel. Never mind that. Fight happening at bottom. Sonic Wave coming in. They kill the Razor this time around. Yules up the Centaur. Stampede not going to help him that much. They're going to try for the TP out, but Keeper of the Light's got his own Hex. And RNG will also just muscle him down. 34k now the lead. Alright, buyback from Centaur. God, this has got to be the absolute worst way to lose a game. Alright, D-Stones has BKB. Let's do it, boys. Wolfgang has buyback. This is the fight. There are plenty of buybacks available. There you go. Razor buying back. So 2 cores, no buyback available. The Will-O-Wisp is there in the middle of everything. D-Stones, can you even get the BKB off? No, he got hexed. He finally gets it off. Nope. Doesn't happen. No BKB for D-Stones. RNG. Just gonna disengage quickly. Okay. Just wait. Getting that Daedalus completed. Oh, Razor hexed up. Can he get his BKB off? Does just barely manage to do so, but he's low on life. Can't really turn and fight. Flyby gonna get stunned up. Monet can't decide between the kills and the objective. Oh, Centaur jumping in trying to get the stomp off, but unfortunately, Will-O-Wisp is still there. Finally gets the stomp now. Shaman doing his best with those Stretch Armstrong shackles, but the daggers keep on flying and there's just no escape. Razor cannot do enough damage, and finally with a whiffed Sonic Wave as the cherry on top, RNG will take this game 47-11, a 42k net worth lead. If you showed them the final screen right here, you would never imagine that they were in any trouble whatsoever, but they did almost get run over by this this dazzle strategy from Room310. So with that, we have our two next round matchups. We have RNG versus Aster, and tomorrow we're going to have Room310 versus Vici Gaming down in the lower bracket. Two teams will be advancing out of the China qualifiers here for the StarLadder ImbaTV Dota 2 minor. So we will actually be punching the ticket for either RNG or Aster in the upcoming series. I imagine that there will be a short break for RNG, so maybe, I don't know, it'll probably be anywhere between 5 minutes and 30 minutes before the next series. Totally depends on when RNG want to play. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying all of the China qualifier coverage. Are any of the other regions kicking off soon? When do we actually start? I'm not sure, but I'm sure Gosu Gamers has the answers, or maybe Liquipedia. Let's have a quick look. Okay, not for a little while. So EU qualifiers kick off in 2 hours and 20 minutes. So you're stuck with me for now, guys, but thank you for watching. Aster versus RNG coming up after the break.